Hey everybody, this is Jeff from the Great Heights and Barely Controlled Chaos, and today we're trying to convince the goats to go someplace. And they don't want to go. It's okay. That's pretty normal. It's nothing bad. And their area they're in is not a bad area for them to be clearing, but I've got a spot near the back of the property, it's over that way, that I would really like them to start working on. But I can't seem to convince them to go. Normally what I do is I try to grab hold of like one of those, that female or this female up here. Since they've got kids, if they start moving, the kids will follow, and once the kids start following, then you usually get the whole herd to go. And that's usually the best way to move them. But Shark, who's our bigger male goat there, Shark, who's our male goat right here, he's being very protective of his females lately. And while he's an incredibly nice goat most of the time, and he's very friendly, he will let you pet him most of the time and everything, when the females are involved, sometimes he gets kind of ornery. Ornery is a good word for it. So what I want him to do is go down this path right here and then out toward the back. And of course I just chased him the wrong way. There's another path that goes out there just around these trees. So maybe I'll see if I can get them to go that way. The trick is that it's kind of a long ways from their pen where we keep them and the place I want them to go. So we may walk out there basically, and by then they've browsed enough grass, and then basically need to turn them around and head them back. But I want them to see the area because there's a lot of good stuff out there for them. It's a little more challenging, but sometimes if you can grab one of the baby goats and carry them, then the moms will all follow, and then of course the rest of the herd will follow. But that can be challenging because they're very quick and they're hard to catch sometimes. So yeah, see, like that. I move toward it and they start moving. Would you guys choose a path? Pick one or the other. I know that path over there has like no forage on it, so they look down the path, they're like, well, we don't want to go that way. This way is going to be slower if they go this way. Doesn't really matter. Just want them to go out there. I might try to grab one of the baby goats. Or the mama here. If she gets out of that bramble so I can get her. We'll see. We just have to be careful of him. Alright, so I got them about halfway. The reality is that I got them all the way out there where I wanted them. And, I was using her. Basically, I got a hold of her, and she ran alongside me once I got a hold of her collar. It wasn't trying to pull her, yank on her or anything, but it got her to run beside me. I got them out there. They immediately turned down this path that you can just see through these woods here and ran right back here. I thought they were going to run all the way back to their pen as fast as they were going. And, guys, I got a great place for you to browse. I mean, this isn't a bad place for them. I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to teach them about a new place that they can go. It's way out back, very back corner of our property. I kind of want them to start working that area some. I could move their pen out there, but that would mean that every time I need to do chores and feed them in the evening or give them water or whatever, that I've got to go all the way from one end of the property all the way to the other end of the property where the pigs are up near the road. And I was trying to avoid that. Well, we made it a bit further, but then this is the trail going back again. So they're just kind of going in a circle here. Whatever. I'll get over it. We'll do it another day, or I'll move their pen out there so that they can go out there and eat, or they can go browse that down, which is, more or less what I want them to do anyway. But I was really kind of just hoping to show it to them so that they would start running out here. They've done a good job clearing the sides of the pond out, so I'm just going to move them on to another environment. But they are not being helpful today. Not being cooperative, which, is where they get this term stubborn old goat. I do understand. I should just let them browse where they are. And they're not hurting anything. So I'm not really complaining. I just had a plan and, it's not working. So that's life. that is life, and that's the way it goes sometimes, and this is just what you do. What's going on out here? So this is our garden right here, right there, and then we got a new project going on here. I'm not going to share the details. Just let it know that we're digging a hole. Our tractor's really not built for digging a hole, especially in the ground like this. So what we're doing is we're loosening it up, driving down in, scooping the dirt out, and then loading it up in the trailer and taking it out to the driveway. And I'll show you that in just a moment, but right now I gotta watch the goats. They must have been thirsty because they came back in here on their own. I didn't even have to coax them to come back here. So they're back. They're hanging out in their pen, which again, I'm probably gonna have to move out back because like I said, they've eaten everything out here. So it's time to let them move and get some more grass. But that's kind of the idea of getting them out. We're gonna get them out probably 2 times a day. Let them out for about an hour or so each time so that they can browse. If we had more fencing, we could let them browse more like we did in the other house. But as it is right now, we're just doing what we've got for right now. So, all right, so this one's not a great example, but because it's got a hump in the middle of it. But basically, we've got our driveway is a real mess at the moment. You can see all these little ruts and ditches and stuff like that. And well, yes, I should put some. Well, I really could put some gravel down, and I really should put some gravel down, and I really will put some gravel down. In the meantime, we're pulling all that stuff out of that hole that I was telling you about that we're not talking about what it is yet, and putting it out here and leveling it out some. We're using the tractor and the trailer and kid labor and our labor to try to get this stuff out here. We've gotten 2 or 3 spots done. Let me show you just the other one real quick. It's just up here. It's a big spot because that spot right there where you can see just as we go around that corner, that became a treacherous spot during the winter. And because it became a treacherous spot during the winter, we rutted it up pretty good, either trying to go pretty quick up that hill or not going quick enough and then having to bring a truck out or the tractor out and drag whatever it was that got stuck in this corner around that corner. So we ended up with lots and lots of ruts in that spot. So it was really getting rough. So this is much better. While it's not permanent and it's not intended to be anything else, it's just it's a good temporary fix. So just a quick update on the pigs. They're doing a great job out here, doing exactly what we want. I'm getting ready to move them. Probably going to move 1 or 2 more panels so that they can have some more space over here, because we really want, to tear this whole area up and then tear this area up where I'm standing. So this will be our upper garden where we're going to plant pumpkins and squash this year. We like squash. We like pumpkins. Pumpkins are great for carving, and the kids will make they like pumpkin pies and things like that. And I use pumpkin in a lot of recipes, but also to sell. And if we can't sell whatever we don't sell, since we're going to plant a lot of them, we'll be using for food for these guys and for the goats, since everybody really likes it. Chickens too, actually. So I know I've said it before, but it's dumb, but I'm super proud of this because this works super well. Getting water up here was going to be a trick. So, no, leave it open. Leave it open, Charlie. Getting water up here was going to be a trick because there's no water up here, no hoses or anything. I could run a hose the whole way from the house, but I really didn't want to. So I'm super proud of this stupid little pipeline that I built. And just putting that on the ground, it works okay. So it's high enough up the hill. Okay, you can turn it off now. But yeah, they really like it, and it's super easy to operate. Just turn that off and on, and I don't even have it properly fit on that. It's just sitting on the end of that pipe there, or the end of that valve there, and then I just have some stuff supporting it over here, and then dump right into their bucket and fills their bucket up, and they're happy. That is clean, by the way. It is clean water in that. it doesn't matter how, yeah, that's what they do. They go in and swim in it and it becomes muddy. And so it doesn't matter how often I clean that tank out, and I do clean it out quite frequently, but it doesn't matter how often I clean that tank out, they immediately go and make a mess out of it again. So despite the fact that they do have fur coats and they won't get sunburned as easily, I do realize that being out here in the sun all the time is not great. And that's why I'm doing this in the spring when it's still cool. Right now, today is in the 50s. It's really sunny, but there's a good amount of wind to keep them cool. And obviously we're giving them mud to keep cooling, and we're making sure that they get plenty of water out here. This is the second time I've been out here watering them today. But I do realize that they are going to need shade. That's why I'm having them, well, I mean, there's multiple reasons why I'm having them out here now in the spring. Obviously, we want them to tear this area up for our gardening project, but also I realize that they're going to need shade during the hottest parts of the summer, and we will move them up into that area that we've talked about before, that's up there that we're putting the electric fence around and I'm putting the poles in for. But at the moment, this is their project. This is what we're going to be doing. And like I said, I do realize it's going to have that we're doing this now when it's cool enough that they won't overheat out here. Like I said, sometimes leading one of the mama goats works, and sometimes it doesn't, because sometimes you end up with them in two groups. You got one mom and a couple of the kids there, and then the other mom and the males over here. So you do what you do, but oops. Anyway, so with everything going on with the goats this weekend and getting them moved and everything, kind of lost track of things. But here we are, just doing evening chores this evening. Just got the animals all fed, realized that our water tank is empty, or one of the two water tanks is empty, so I gotta go do it the hard way. I got a bucket with me so I can fill the other tank. The plan is to use the second IBC tote up here mostly for the garden once we get stuff planted. But in the meantime, until I can get the main one filled up again, I'm going to use some of the water out of it. I mean, it's not a big deal. I can certainly use, as I was saying, I'm going to fill it out of this tank until I can get that one filled back up. Not a big deal. Just have to take one of these pipes and hook it up to it, because that one's really low to the ground, and because of where it is, I really should have just put it over here. That would have made sense, and I probably will have to empty it, and then I may as well just use the water out of it, honestly, and then move it once it's full again. But in the meantime, I'm just going to use it to fill up a couple of buckets and get the pigs watered for tonight. So that's it. Got the pigs watered, got everything taken care of, and I'm just gonna head back up to the house, and that'll be the end of what we need to get done tonight. So if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, leave a comment below if you've got thoughts, and we'll talk to you next time.